Hello and welcome to another Process Love Candy. My name is Mark Sheard. You can find me on Instagram at Sheardo, and this is a time-lapse demonstration of my work. Today's piece of love candy was drawn in Procreate and features the outstanding Lilli Luxe. I'm creating this drawing just for fun. I often see Lilli Luxe in my feed and she always creates wonderful and amazing posts that inspire me to draw. So in this piece I was wanting to do a trio of Lilli Luxe poses, and I've often done this little style of drawing where I combine a couple of different poses together and position them in a way that they're interconnected and interacting with each other. I find it's just a little bit of fun and makes it a little bit more creative, and it ends up making them look like they're a bunch of triplets or twins or something, you know. But I think it makes it look fun, just little separate moments in time where they're connecting with one another and interacting. I always start my drawings with a rough sketch, a super quick doodle, just to make sure that everything's going to fit on the page. I have a habit of drawing things too large and too big in scale, so I have to shrink them down. Once I finish my quick squiggle, I'll move on to my rough sketch, and here I'll be refining my drawing. As you can see, I constantly draw things at the wrong scale or angle, so I'm lucky in Procreate I'm able to just quickly select the area and readjust it and rescale it. If I was drawing this in pencil, I'd be using my eraser a lot. Whenever I'm drawing traditionally, there's eraser clippings all over the floor everywhere. I always have to get out the old vacuum and hoover those things up straight away. I've been drawing this rough sketch in purple. I know this drawing I wanted to do pinks and purples. I already started with a slightly purple textured background. So I often use different colours just to brighten the mood. Working in grey is quite dull all the time, so if you're working digitally, why not try something different? When I am working traditionally, I'll often be using a Colorase pencil to start with my rough sketch anyway, so I'm used to working in blues or oranges or greens at the start before I do my refined drawing. Now that I'm all finished colouring up my drawing, I'm going to start with some line work. My base colours I've chosen here are all pinks, as I said. I tend to use a similar colour palette and range, so the lipstick on this character is just a softer tone of the main lingerie that she's wearing, and you'll notice that she also has matching toenails. I'll be painting the fingernails later as well. And when I select the line work colour to do the outline, I've started with the skin tone colour and then I just darken it up and add a tiny little bit more red to it. So that way it's just a darker version of the colour that's its surrounding. You'll notice that I haven't drawn every single line work. I like to do a bit of thick and thin line work with my illustration. So generally it gets thicker the more pronounced the area needs to be. So if something's coming forward, you'll thicken it up a little bit. And this will go in the one line. So when it starts thin is where it's tapering off. You don't want to stop dead with your pencil lines. You need to have that nice little tapered off so you get this beautiful little brush stroke style to it. The poses I've selected here had to be nice and varied. I wanted to portray a different feeling and emotion with each one and a sense of sexiness in a different style on each one. I had to draw the feet myself though, because the reference was cut off at the calves. So I probably didn't get her feet right. They look a little bit like Tarzan's feet with the wide toe, but that's because I've done a lot of practice and reference drawing from Disney. So excuse those toes if they don't look like yours, Lily. I'm now rendering this one, doing different colours. I'm using a soft airbrush for this piece. Normally I would use a hard brush and then knock it back, but in this piece I wanted to make it a more softer finish. So I'm just doing airbrush the whole way through. And this is for myself, so I'm just having a bit of fun and experimenting once again. As I keep doing all these colours and shadows and highlights, it'll start to knock back the line work and other areas, so then I'll just go over with another layer and pump that up a little bit more as I keep going. I enjoy doing drawings like this. I like creating, something wonderful and enticing to the eye, and I think this one's coming along quite well. Adding a little bit of shadow to the background will really pop the characters forward a lot more, elevating them from the backdrop. And as I was saying, because of the more colours and shadows I put on, it made the line work disappear a bit. So I'm going back now with a darker brown line work, just to highlight more of the line work in areas that need it. I'm not doing it everywhere, just where it's needed, just to elevate it and push it back. I'm also adding a few little whiter highlight line work areas to pronounce certain elements as well. These aren't really realistic or following any sense of guides of what lighting should be, but it's really something I'm doing just to highlight certain areas and make sure the illustration reads. As this is an illustration over a painting, I get a little bit more liberties just to do what I like to make it clear and legible. I'm now going to go in and just add a bit more overall aesthetic rhythm to the drawing. So I wasn't happy with the grey-ish background, so I've added more pink layers over the top. These have overlapped the character as well, so it cements her within the environment a little bit more, which is great. And then finally I just need to add more texture to her lingerie. I mean, it's all made of lace, so I want to make sure that's nice and pretty. I've made sure each of these different sets she's wearing are different styles, just to showcase the variety available. Different strokes for different folks. I really love this drawing. I think it's come out really nice. I like her expressions, her eyes, everything about it, and the poses. There's good overlapping nature, strong silhouette, and strong poses. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this piece of love candy. Please subscribe to my channel and add a like to this video and ring that bell if you want to see some more. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the sunshine.